The Man in the Country Part 2. I had to leave quickly before those dead pricks down the road got here. They were getting close. I can't believe the distance they made up while I was putting that bag of supplies together. I climbed the ladder once again and jumped down on the pile of bodies on the other side of the wall. I should have left a rope hanging or something so we could make it back inside when we got back. I would leave the front gate cracked, but I can't take the chance of having any of those dead bastards breach the compound while I'm gone. Oh well, we'll have to figure a way when we return. I broke off into the woods as I got closer to the fresh batch of zombified fuckers that were shambling towards my home. Don't need to cause any unwanted attention. I'll only stir the shit when it's absolutely necessary. I'm only one man after all. I moved through the vegetation as quick as I could, then made my way back onto the dirt road after I was far enough away from the horde's gaze. Visibility was pretty much shit out here. I know, I probably should have waited for morning, but when I heard Brandy's voice, knew that she was still alive, I just couldn't wait. I'm not going to lie, it was looking pretty bleak the past few days. Hearing my family being ripped apart over the phone, thinking they were all dead, my mind was wandering into some dark places, but now I have hope. I moved my way down the countryside with only the light of the full moon to guide my way. I had a backpack full of essentials and the nickel-plated 12-gauge firmly in my grip. I've covered about 5 miles worth of ground. I haven't come across too much of the dead out here in the open country, but I need to pick up the pace. I'm wasting too much time out here on foot. It leaves me too exposed and is keeping me from getting to my love quicker. There's a farm at the bottom of the hill. I'll search for transportation when I get there. I approached the fence to the farm quietly and scanned the area. There were some horses to the left of me in the corral and the barn to the right of me, with a horse just straight ahead of where I was kneeled at. I climbed over the fence and quickly and very quietly moved my way towards the main house. Some relief entered my body when I saw the pickup truck parked on the side of the house. I stood there for a moment, trying to get a proper lay of the house. From what I could tell, all the windows and doors were closed, and there wasn't any signs of life I could see. At that moment, I prepared myself for many scenarios, though. With a parked truck here, that either means that there's people alive, inside and hiding, or something happened to whoever lives here and their fucking flesh bags. I walked to the back door, cupping my hands up against the glass, but I couldn't see anything, just an ordinary kitchen, quiet and dark. I jostled the handle and it opened. I don't know what to think of that, but I pushed forward anyway. I switched on my flashlight that I taped at the end of my 12-gauge and started to make my way through the house. As quietly as I could, I asked if anyone was home. I stood there for a moment, between the kitchen and living room, trying to listen for a response, but I heard nothing. I scanned the kitchen and living room, making mental notes of what could be of use to me on my journey, and I continued searching the house. I looked in the side rooms, and there were no signs of people, no signs of anybody being here at all. That was until I got to the room at the top of the stairs. I could hear faint scratching when I stood at the bottom of the steps before I made my way up to the door. That caught my attention. I put my ear up against the door and heard shuffling around, and it was the scratching that I had heard earlier. It was loud now, and on the other side of the door. Whatever was in this room, there were multiple of. I called out and only got growling back as a response. I know it might be a mistake, but I need to get in there. I need keys for that damn truck, and maybe they might be on one of these meat shufflers. I let out a guttural exhale and kicked in the door, sending shards of wood flying inside the room, and just as I thought, I was greeted with the undead. It was the entire household, from what I could tell, and they were all staring at me. A look of ravenous hunger plastered their decaying, ravaged faces as they shambled towards me, teeth gnashing and moaning as they reached out trying to grab at my flesh. I pumped the shotgun and sent the first flesh bag flying. It was a young girl. Then I blasted another and another, then another. Jesus, it was the entire family. As I was about to dispose of the last flesh bag, an older woman missing an arm, probably Grandma, coming at me. I could hear over my shoulder a door fly open and saw a ladder drop down and hit the floor. It was the attic, and I could see someone bounding down the steps. I quickly blasted Granny in two and turned sharply, pointing my shotgun towards the door. An elderly man jumped into view screaming at the top of his lungs, saying that I murdered his family. I tried to reason with the old man, trying to hastily explain that they were dead already and that they tried to fucking eat me. He just kept screaming and screaming. I placed my finger on the side of the trigger, slightly grazing it just in case, hoping I don't have to blow this old bastard away. Shit, he's the first person I've seen who's alive in a fucking week. I tried reasoning with him one more time, but as I did, I noticed he started to pull something from behind his back. I shouted for him to stop, but he didn't, and he raised his arm, holding a revolver. I quickly placed my finger on the trigger and squeezed. Once in the head. No damn way he was coming back as a zombie. I picked up the revolver. I can always use another gun, I thought. I searched his body, and when I rummaged through his pockets, I found a set of keys. Relief washed over me like a warm, comforting shower. I put the keys in my pocket and went back downstairs, picking up the items I knew I could use. It was still dark. I made sure I did a thorough walkthrough of the house and locked all the windows and doors and decided to sleep in the living room until sunrise. But I have a vehicle now, plenty of supplies, and a renewed hope. I'm on my way, baby. I would like to give a heartfelt thank you to the special friends of the channel. Your generosity means the world to me. If you would like to support the channel, the link is below in the description. Also, please send me your stories to duchessofdarkness27@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram at duchess.ofdarkness or Twitter at duchessofdarkn2. I want to thank you all for your support, your kindness, and your encouragement. I appreciate it so very much. Until next time.